Hey guys, Adam here with AmericanTrucks.com, and today we're taking a quick look at installing and dyno testing the Diablo Sport InTune i3 tuner, available for the 03 to 14 5.7 liter Hemi-equipped Ram 1500s. Now before we jump into all the details of the InTune i3 tuner from Diablo Sport, what do you say we head right on over to the dyno graph to take a look at the before and after dyno results. All right, so we strapped our 2014 5.7 liter Hemi Ram 1500 down to the dyno. Keep in mind, guys, that it is bone stock with the exception of our 33-inch tires. We ran it to establish a baseline run in 4th gear, closest to our 1-to-1 ratio. Now, because we were avoiding downshifting, which is a known issue when dynoing these Rams, we did a slow pull at 2,000 RPMs to redline throughout each. For baseline, we walked away with 292 horsepower, 291 pound-feet of torque at the rear wheels. We then uploaded our Diablo or 93 octane performance tune from Diablo Sport, ran it again under the same conditions, walked away with 312 horsepower, 324 pound-feet of torque at the rear wheels. That's good for peak gains of 20 horsepower and 32 torque at the rear. Now those gains alone are pretty impressive, but looking at curve gains, it gets even better. At 4,500 RPMs, we're seeing horsepower curve gains up to 57 horsepower and torque curve gains of about 66 pound-feet of torque at the rear wheels. Now, like I said, those curve gains, we're seeing it right around 4,500 RPMs, so mid to high range, you're seeing really good gains that'll definitely be something you feel out on the road. And on top of that, with the preloaded tunes from Diablo Sport, you're getting an increased throttle response and acceleration. It's adjusting a number of parameters to give you exactly what you see here. So in terms of a preloaded or canned tune, pretty impressive gains right off the bat. All right, so as you can see, pretty sizable gains from a simple preloaded or canned tuner. Now, essentially what that means is this tuner right out of the box comes preloaded with a select number of tunes to adjust a bunch of different parameters under the hood and with your ECU to maximize the performance of your Ram 1500. This is going to adjust things like your timing and spark. It's going to adjust fuel. It's going to adjust throttle response and acceleration. So it's going to adjust that throttle booster, so the time you hit the gas and the time your throttle body opens up, it's going to have a reduced delay like it does from the factory. From the factory, these trucks can tend to feel a little bit sluggish, and with simple preloaded tunes like the ones you find here can make the difference between a sluggish truck and one that feels a lot more alive. Now that's especially the case here when you have larger wheels and tires like we do. We have 33-inch all-terrains on this guy, which on a stock tune can make the truck feel pretty sluggish. You can wake that thing up with a simple preloaded tune. Now, of course, custom tunes take it a whole lot further. If you have a lot of bolt-on mods, you can really maximize their potential by getting a custom tune, which this guy does support. You can handle up to a number of custom tunes on this device individually. So if you want to work with a custom tuner of your choice, you can still use this device in the future. This is going to be for the guys who maybe just want to pick up a preloaded tune out of the box for now and then maximize it in the future later on. Now, when it comes to tuning your vehicle with the Diablo Sport InTune i3, you have a couple of different options to choose from. You can modify just the stock tune, in which case you might just want to change your tire size or your gear ratio, very simple parameters that can make the difference, and adjust your speedometer, for example. Or you can take it further and adjust it to a 91 octane tune if you're using the higher octane gas. If you're looking for all-out performance, I suggest using the Diablo Sport tune or the Diablo tune, which is maximized for the highest 93 octane pump gas. That's what we're doing here on the dyno today, and that's what you just saw with those results. Aside from that, you have a number of other features like the gauges and data log menu. This is going to be for the guys who maybe want to track those engine parameters on the fly at any given time just from the driver's seat. So those engine parameters can be things like intake temperature, engine temperatures. You can track RPMs if you want to see that on the screen here. Things like your battery voltage and a number of other things that you might want to track on a daily basis can be tracked right here with customizable gauges. Now there's a number of different layouts that you can choose from to really personalize it to your liking, and of course you can go in each one of those layouts and change the parameters to the data that you want to display. Now the data logging feature is going to be especially good for guys taking advantage of the custom tune aspect of things. Again, not something that comes with out of the box, but if you are working with your personal tuner, you're able to data log that and basically see how the vehicle is running, how the tune is performing, and make revisions from there. You can do that all with the device here. You also get a DTC code reader. Anytime you want to read a check engine light that pops up, it'll give you the code and a brief description, and you can clear that on the device to get rid of the light itself from the dashboard, which of course no one wants to look at. This guy comes in right around $450, and the install gets 1 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter. It's extremely easy to use. There are no physical buttons. It is completely touchscreen touchscreen, but it is very responsive. And again, you can customize how that operates to your liking as well. So it's pretty much sort of like a very basic smartphone. You can have the settings for the display, you can have the settings for audio. It also connects to Wi-Fi for wireless updates, but it does have a port at the top if you want to connect it via USB to your laptop or computer. Now, when it comes to the time here, it'll take you about 15 minutes if you're used to tuning, if you have some experience with that and you know how to operate this. If not, I'm going to show you guys every step of the process from tuning, and then I'll show you guys a walkthrough of the menus. So what do you say we get started? First things first here, grab the harness included in the kit along with your i3 tuner. You're going to plug this guy into the OBD2 port located under the driver's side dash, which is straight under that steering column. So once you have that plugged in, you can grab the other end of the cord and plug it right into the bottom of your i3. All right, from there we can get to work. All right, as soon as you plug this guy in, you want to put your key in the ignition and put it in accessory or run mode, and then hit yes on the terms of agreement, which is the first thing that boots up in the main menu. Now at the main menu, you'll have three options. You have Tune Vehicle, Scan Tool, and Settings. We're going to jump right into Tune Vehicle to get things going there. All right, so from here, we have two options. We have Easy Tune and Advanced Tune. Now, Easy Tune takes you through a very straightforward process with some of the simpler preloaded tunes, very few parameters that you can actually access and change. Advanced Tune takes that a little bit further. I'm going to select Advanced Tune to show you guys what that looks like. Now from here, you can do a quick adjust to change small parameters, or you can go to Tune Select. Select Tune Select. We can install our standard tune, and we have a couple of different options. We have a Diablo tune, which is straight for 93 octane. We have a tow tune, 91 octane tune. There's a jammer. There's a couple of different options. Miles per gallon booster tune. You can modify the stock option for things like octane levels. I'm going to go with Diablo tune because we want to select the 93 octane option that's going to net the best gains. All right, so now it's going to save a backup of your vehicle's stock info. It'll save the stock file to the device here so you can revert back to stock at any time. So I'm going to select yes. All right, so we're going to hit continue for additional programming. And from here, you don't want to unplug the device. You don't want to turn the key off unless prompted to do so on the device itself. It'll load 0 to 100 probably a couple of times, so you just want to have some patience and we'll come back at the end. All right, so we're going to turn the key off and press continue. And back on. Turn the ignition off and press continue. And back on. All right, so once we have that taken care of, we have a couple of different options to take a look at. So let's select modified parameters to see what options we can change. So we have cooling fans, we can turn on and off, idle. We're gonna hit no on adjust. We're gonna go down. We can change our tire size, that's something important. We do have 33s on this truck, so I'm gonna change that. Type in 33, hit enter, and I'm gonna hit save. From there, it'll adjust that parameter. All right, so we're gonna continue, key off, back on. All right, so we can keep going down. You can see wide open throttle, fuel, and spark. There's a couple of different parameters there you can mess with. So aside from tires, we're gonna keep that the same. And we're gonna hit apply tune. From here, it'll jump into actually writing the tune and applying those options. And finally, it'll take us back to the main menu and we'll be done. All right, so it's prompting us to turn off again and press continue. Come back on. All right, there you have it, tune complete. You can unplug, press continue, it'll reboot the device and send you back to the main menu. All right, from here I want to show you guys some of the other features of the Intune i3 device. So aside from Tune Vehicle, which you saw can hold those preloaded tunes, it has the ability to hold custom tunes if you have them loaded as well. Not in this case scenario, but it is possible. You also have some of those modified parameters we looked at. Under that you have Scan Tool. Now you want to make sure the key is in the run position, and what this will allow you to do is read any DTCs, so diagnostic trouble codes being your check engine light. If that light comes on the dash, you can plug this guy in, you can go to your Scan Tool, you can show the trouble codes, you'll get a description, and you can clear them right there. Now, data logging will record your vehicle's performance, and you can see how your vehicle's stacking up, take a look at the logs, it'll show you things like knock and timing, a number of other parameters as well. So all that's built into this device too, so you can data log right on the i3 device. Under that is some settings. Pretty straightforward, a couple of just simple settings. Wi-Fi configuration is pretty important for guys looking to do wireless updating to the software and firmware of the i3 instead of having to plug it into your laptop. The only catch there is you have to be within range of a Wi-Fi network. Analog input setup, you can select here and add or adjust existing parameters. You can delete parameters, and you can restore default configurations within the parameter settings. Sound and display, pretty straightforward. You can adjust brightness, you can adjust the volume because there is a beep every time you select something on the menus. And advanced options gives you things for check for updates, connecting to Wi-Fi of course, and then you have tech support there as well. And finally, if you have demo mode just for brand new devices, sometimes come straight off in demo mode, you can enable or disable that at the bottom there as well. And really, that's your i3 device. The question mark up there gives you some frequently asked questions and help menu options, but other than that, it's a very straightforward device. That's going to wrap up my review and install for the Diablo Sport Intune i3 tuner, available for the 03 to 14 5.7 liter Ram 1500s. Get yours right here at AmericanTrucks.com.